Hello， 大家好，欢迎收看今天的节目。那今天呢，是我特别为大家做的一期关于新加坡留学方面答疑解惑的这么一个节目，希望可以同时帮助到想去新加坡学习艺术的，以及那些希望从中学就可以到新加坡去深造的那些朋友们，希望可以给你们答疑解惑。那为了今天的节目呢，我特意请到了一位来自新加坡的大咖。我们虽然不是同专业，但曾经都在同一所大学就读。他是东南亚地区冉冉升起的一颗钢琴新星，曾经夺得过很多国际比赛的大奖，也曾经跟很多世界顶级的交响乐团都有合作过。最重要的，他曾经荣获过新加坡国家级的荣誉殊荣李光耀金奖。现在呢，他是拉萨尔艺术学院的钢琴教师 Clarence Lee。
你们大家好。
So could you just introduce for me how's your secondary school's experience?
At the time, I was from normal secondary school in Singapore. Most of us have to go through, the normal academic route. So at that time, I was in secondary 4, which is about around 16 years old in Singapore.
Okay.
And then I applied for the Young Conservatory, the admissions, the auditions, and then I got accepted into the bachelor's program. So then that's where I decided to stop my normal school and pursue music as a degree.
Oh, okay. But it was, I like I told you that it was really confused me. So could you explain a bit to me that the structure of school system, especially for secondary school system in Singapore? Because it was really confused. I read some article that saying there are 4 different streams. They say it's a express one and special one and normal academic one and normal technical one. What's that difference?
I think the main thing is that they try to put students of different abilities and different learning abilities into different streams, so that the school teachers can teach an entire class at a certain comfortable pace. So back in my time, when it was like maybe 2002, so at that time I was in the express stream. So in express stream, usually what it means is that we will finish our studies in 4 years.
Yes.
Which means that after 4 years, we will get our O levels. So over there, we have the usual English, math. You can do either double science or triple science. And then we have the other things like, you can pick one humanities between history, geography, and literature. So we have a whole bunch of subjects that we have to take. So that's in the express stream. Then we have what you call, the normal and technical streams, which some of them, they will do the O levels in 5 years instead of 4.
Okay.
But it's doing my own time, because I think nowadays the Singapore government is trying to get away from this kind of streaming, So instead, they try to eventually do away with this by putting people according to the subject. Yeah. So later on, we now have, for example, School of the Arts. So there are people who will still do the other subjects but specialize in art or music. We also have the sports school in Singapore. So it's very different from when I was in secondary school as compared to how it is now.
OK， 聊到这里，一定要跟大家说明一下，新加坡呢会在2024年的时候实施全面的课改体系，之后就不会再有那些普通、快速、特殊的这些分流体系了，会全面的被基本科目评分制所取代。那到时候呢会有3个分组，分别是 G1、G2 还有 G3。那其中 G3 呢是最难的组别，而你的分组呢多少也会根据你的小学毕业时候的一个成绩作为一个参考条件。那我先给大家打一个比方哈，这个时候其实你是可以灵活的去做一些自己课业上的一些分配的。比如说你个人更喜欢文学方面的课程，那你就可以选一些人文科目类的东西，然后选到 G3， 也就是刚才说的最难的那个难度拿几门课。然后呢，如果你相对不是那么擅长科学类的，那你就可以拿一个 G1 作为是这种类型科目的一个你自己想要去读的这么一个选择。其实呢是变得更灵活了，也是一件好事儿来的。哦，对了，虽然 Clarence 已经毕业很久了，那在他毕业之后呢，新加坡政府也做过一些前前后后的课改，所以他现在所说的一些话呢，不具完全性的参考价值。不过，我相信经过他的一些个人分享，一定会对你对于新加坡留学的过去和未来有更系统的一个认识。The different stream going to some leading up to the O level, examination, but some of them have to pass the A level examination. What's that difference? Is that in fact how you involve in the university?
Oh, so yes, the most direct route or the safest route that most Singaporeans take is the route of the pre-college, so like college. So after 4 years in secondary school, after they get their O levels, they will go to what we call junior college. And
Junior
over
college.
there, junior college. Over there, they will spend 2 more years doing A levels before they go on to the university. But then there's also another path which some people, after their O levels, they proceed to do diploma. So they go to a polytechnic where they pursue a diploma in a course that they would like to specialize in. Then also we have, nowadays we have the IB program, International Baccalaureate program. So it's also a very different program that some schools and international schools offer. Okay. So they no longer need to take O levels. So basically they go straight to 6 years, and then after that they graduate with their IB certificate before they go to university.
Okay, that's Polytechnic.
Yes, Polytechnic.
Polytechnic's diploma, or compare with those universities degree for the job hunting, which is that a big difference to get a job?
I think the biggest challenge is if you're in the polytechnic, for example, and you would like to go to a local university, let's say NUS or so, then usually it's a little bit more competitive because if I'm not wrong, maybe only the top 5% or 10% that would be able to be admitted into the local university. So that's why a lot of people go to junior college, because usually depending on your course, that's the easiest way to get in. Well, so in Singapore, it's not easy. So a lot of times, if you do a diploma, a lot of times you may have to go overseas as well to get to study in the college.
Okay, so what is the criteria for the O levels, the requirements? What's the lowest scores people have to get?
I know for sure, like English, you have to pass in English. So like each grade, they give you a score. Mm-hmm. So for example, if you score an A, then maybe you get 1 point. And then if you don't do so well, the grade gets lower, you get more and more points. So then with each college, you will find online that there's maximum points that you need to get into that place. So usually the lower the point is, the better it is. Okay. So depending on the college, there's a certain system.
Okay. Like you just said, a special they have 4 years, and the difference with the express is you have a choice. You have to do the higher mother tongue language passed
Yes.
Examination, and after that is a free choice by you for the express stream. So it is different, but both of them you could study finish within 4 years. But other of that is for 5 years, and normal technical one.
Normally, yeah. No, normally even then they will have to finish. Normal technical and normal stream, usually they have to do 5 years for sure. So like I say, it has changed so much. I can tell you about my time. So when I was a student, so we had to take English for sure.
Okay.
We had to take E-math. So mathematics we have E. Math is compulsory. Then we had to back then we had to take at first science. So we have chemistry and physics, and then we have mother tongue. So like I took Chinese, and also eventually one humanities, which is either literature, geography, or history. So in the earlier secondary 1 and secondary 2, you have to take all 3. So they make you take all the 3 of them, and only in secondary 3 you will decide which of these 3 you will take. Then you can add on more subjects. So like for me, I took A math.
Okay.
A math is like a more advanced math to that, and I took a biology because at the time I was thinking that maybe I wanted to be a doctor if I did become a musician. So because of that, so I planned ahead. So I took biology. So basically, that during my time, it was like this. These were the subjects I had to take. It's hard to break it down now because again, it's so many years since I was in secondary school, and the system is changing a lot because the world is changing. So the government is also implementing a lot of different things. Like for example, I was telling you, in 2024, 2025, they are doing away with the streaming. So there's no longer as express, normal. They will put them still in different classes, but it's more like subject specific. So like arts or math or science class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah.
Okay. Speaking about the schools difference, I also check that the Singapore have an independent school, autonomous school, and the government school. For those 3 different type, for the cost, the tuition free, what's the difference?
I think if Singapore government school usually is because heavily subsidized, so it's definitely much more affordable, a lot cheaper, as compared if you go to you study international school and all, the fees are very very high. So most of us in Singapore we study in a government school, which is also a very different kind of education system, because in Singapore. The international school focus on very different aspects of education as compared to government school.
Okay, but for the education level, I know it's different system for requirements, all the things, but for the level of the study results, is a huge difference.
I would say that at the end of the day, it's two different paths of getting to the same destination. My personal observation, because now I teach students from government school and from international school, so I have piano students, and what I noticed the most is that students from government school, if I ask them a question with an answer, so like, is it A or B or C, they are very good at giving me the right answer.
Okay.
Like, immediately they'll tell me, oh, B is the correct answer or C is the correct answer. Okay. But if I ask them a question that is open-ended, so it's like a creative question or a question that requires them to reflect on the topic, usually they are not very comfortable to speak out. Whereas with international students is a different opposite thing, where you give them an open-ended question, they can engage in lots of discussions. If you want a straightforward answer, usually you won't get a straightforward answer from them.
So less creative, right? For the students.
Yes, that was back at my time. Again, I'm I'm much older now, so things may change. So that was the observation.
So